Kapow! Hello and welcome to Stanchion Snacks, a bit of a mouthful, the cooking show where I create a dish that represents a player from both Southampton and this weekend's opponents, which are of course Blackburn Rovers. An interesting factoid on Blackburn Rovers is actually I bought this shirt from a pub outside the ground, but I better not tell you the full story as it does incriminate a few people. Not even the best journalist in the world is going to get that story out of me. Stanchion Snacks, Louis Theroux here. Is there a story behind that shirt? You're saying there isn't, but I kind of feel like there is. Does your wife know about the shirt? I kind of felt like Stanchion Snacks was holding something back from me. From the list of players that have played for both clubs, there was one man that popped out straight away, and that of course is Egil Østenstad. Now, the rumours going around my primary school in the 90s was that Egil Østenstad actually translates as Hedgehog Eastern Town. I'm not fact-checking it, that's just what we're going with. Now, Egil arrived from Viking Stavanger. Stavanger is a lovely port town I spent a lot of time in as my job working on cruise ships. And there's some great sandwiches there, and I'm going to create a sandwich today for you guys that kind of represents that town more than anything else. So we're going to do some smoked salmon, but I wouldn't be much of a chef, would I, if I just opened up a bag of smoked salmon for you today. So we're going to create a vegan smoked salmon, and we're going to do that using the humble carrot. So first thing we've got to do is peel these. Peeling always reminds me of my life as a KP, kitchen porter. When I do 25 kilo sacks at a time, you become one with the carrots. You question life. What is life? Is life carrots? Am I a carrot? What's real? Are the carrots real? Is anything real? Anyway, back to the recipe. So we now have all these lovely, beautiful ribbons of carrot, and we're going to cook them in quite a large pan, and we're going to put some interesting things in. So first of all, the carrot can go in there, and then we want a sheet of nori. Nori is seaweed, dried seaweed. A whole sheet of nori, and to get a little bit of a smoky flavour, I'm actually going to add some tea. Now this is something that I did do in my melon video. If you haven't seen my melon video, go watch that. I talk a lot more about tea and a lot more about smoke in that one. But again, I've just brewed some lapsang souchong, just a little bit, and then I'll top that up with water. And the other thing we're going to add now is quite a bit of salt. So 2 good pinches. And we might add some soy later on. So we'll put the seaweed in, lid on, and then we're going to boil that for longer than you think. It won't turn into a puree, but we're going to stick that on, pull that up, but I think we'll make a lovely vegan mayo to go with it. So starting with about 4 tablespoons of aquafaba, that's chickpea water, 2 tablespoons of white wine vinegar, same amount of Dijon mustard, pinch of salt, and then 250 millilitres of oil. Give it a good blitz, and it should go thick straight away. If it doesn't go thick, add more aquafaba. Okay, so 15 minutes, decent boil, and our carrot stroke smoked salmon is done. I've washed it off in some cold water, and it's kind of at the sort of stage where if you pressed it, it would break in half, but it wouldn't go to mush. That's kind of what you want. Taste-wise, there's some good depth of flavour to it, but it does need a little hit. So let's start with a bit of soy, maybe a tablespoon. And this next bit you could do the whole thing really far in advance actually. It doesn't have to be done sort of rush order as we say in the trade, because the longer this has with any kind of marinade on is going to be good. But it's got that little bit of smokiness. I'm just going to put a bit of white wine vinegar there, and maybe a little hit of sumac, my sumac bunny, smoked paprika. This is the good stuff, and a nice amount of that. Maybe half a teaspoon. Give it a mix. I might just put a dribble of olive oil. It looks salmony. It tastes salmony. Smoked paprika's a... You know what it could have? You know what I've just thought of? But it's quite wet. I'm going to have this, mayo. I plan to put rocket. It needs like crisps in it, doesn't it? What if... A Skip's vegan. So I've been out. Skip's a vegan. I've bought some. A little crunch of a skip maybe could be quite... I've decided we're going to make fukumami, fukumari. Let's make some fukumari because we got the seaweed anyway. Okay, so I've just run a knife through that nori sheet. All right, so we've just got a kind of rough, pretty fine chop. It wasn't easy to do, but it also wasn't difficult, if you know what I mean. It just took a little bit of time, a bit like chopping parsley. So that's going to start off, and then into a dry pan over here, similar amount of sesame seeds, I think. You can use white and black, but this is black, so I'm just going to use white. And then you could add like something fishy to this. Obviously, we're keeping this vegan, so you'd like bonito flakes or like some kind of a fish flake. So I'm going to add a good pinch of Engavita flakes, and then I've also got a little bit of hemp knocking about. So just a little pinch of hemp. That smells good. And I'm going to put a little bit of chili flakes in here as well. Now I'm in this predicament that Skips gave me the idea of making this. And this is a lovely thing. Will it ruin it if I add Skips to it? Who knows? Let's add some and find out. Oh, hello. So, however long that was, is how long it takes for your sesame seeds to toast. Nicely. And that can go in there. A little bit of heat's okay. Right on time. Sorry, girls. So I'll open the window. So there we have. If this had smell-o-vision, this smells absolutely fantastic. This is a nice sort of crunchy, aromatic sort of thing. Let's try a little bit actually. Dip that in there. Look at that. That's so good. A little bit more Engavita. That is sensational. Traditionally, you might think in Norway they have these big open sandwiches, but in Stavanger they all seem to be sort of more closed. They use a lot of focaccia. So I've got some focaccia. So we're actually now at a stage we're building it. I'm going to put some skips in. On a bit of texture. Sensational. So I'm going to make focaccia for this episode, and I might make one for another dish later on, but I just wanted a nice simple one today for me and for you. Are you really going to go and make the focaccia? I don't know. Will you make the salmon? Hopefully. So I was walking around M&S and I found this beautiful little focaccia. So this is going to be a big boy, by the way. This ain't going to be a small sandwich. I'm going to have half of this. This was £3, so we're looking at a £1.50 sandwich at the moment. So that'll be one for my friend. And definitely going to cut it in half this way. Now I'm just going to give this a little toast, just through a sort of hot oven, not under the grill. So beautifully, just sort of warmed focaccia, a little bit of a crisp around the edges here, but still nice and soft in the middle. And we're going to start off with our lovely vegan mayo. One of the best sandwich shops in the world, in my opinion, Max's in Finsbury Park. His saying is, put twice as much mayo on as you think and you'll have a good sandwich. And then a little bit of rocket, I think. I like rocket, nice sort of pepperiness. And then a decent, generous amount of our salmon. A good two tablespoons, maybe 2 carrots. And then this, what I think is accidental genius, of Furikake all over. Don't worry about some of this falling out. Get that all over there. Look at that. Lid on. Squash him down. And wrap him up. Oh, I'm actually going to Blackburn, I think. And I think that would look pretty nice in my pocket on the way to the game. Let's cut him up, but I can't wait that long. Let's cut him open. Gonna get a bit Instagrammy on you now. Kapow. Come on. Look at that. Oh, that's a sandwich for you. All right, it's eating time, and I must say, I am excited to have a go at this. So this is my little hat tip to Egil Østenstad, to Norway, to Stavanger. Anyone that watched my melon video will know that at the end of it I said it's not like a ham, it's not like a, it's more like pastrami, but it's still a bit like you're eating a melon. This doesn't taste of carrot at all. It tastes like you're eating smoked salmon. It's smoky. There's so much umami going on from the seaweed and the things like that. Honestly think this is probably one of the best ones I've ever created. It's interesting. I couldn't be happier, guys. This is an absolute triumph. The sesame seeds is so lovely. It's so balanced. It's incredible. Try this one, and it's pretty easy. You know what? Glad I didn't make the focaccia. I might do a focaccia as a short. I think I might have put you off what is a really, really simple recipe. Yeah, you got to grate some carrots. I'm gonna go sit down and eat the other half of this and really enjoy myself. Please like and subscribe. The channel is very slowly building up a little bit of traction. I'm gonna finish the season no matter what. But like, subscribe, share, talk to people that you know that like food and like football. I don't really know too much about how to promote this channel anymore, but I'm just sticking to creating interesting food with a little bit of nostalgia and love, and referencing some great players of the past. I hope you're enjoying this channel, and I'll see you on the next one.